The international break is without a doubt the worst part of any given season, but especially the first international break, it's always the worst, it's always the most painful, it always feels like the longest wait until you get Championship football back, but it's also a great time to reflect on how things have gone so far. So we're going to be giving my team of the season so far in the opening 4 matches, who has been the best players from these opening matches in the Championship so far this season, and have started the season in unbelievable form. If you're a Championship fan, then do hit subscribe on this channel. We do daily Championship content, so if you support any team in the Championship, this is the place to be for Championship content. We talk about your teams every single day, so please do hit that subscribe button. It only takes 1 second, and you definitely won't regret it. And drop a like as well if you do go on to enjoy the video, because that would be very greatly appreciated as well. And let's jump straight into things. So as I say, it's been a great start to the season with numerous teams that have really impressed and numerous players that have impressed so far. So of course, if I miss players out, let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, this is only my opinion on what I've seen and what I believe so far in the Championship, off my personal opinion. So starting off in goal for our team, we are going to be going for Vitek. Now, there has been numerous good goalkeepers, I say, at the start of the season in the Championship, but Vitek, 4 goals conceded, just the 1 clean sheet, but really good so far. Come on loan from Manchester United, actually, and I mean, the potential this guy's clearly got, 21 years old. He's got potential to, you never know in the future with Man United's goalkeeping situation, the way that it's been over, well, since David De Gea has left at United. You never know, this guy could be a future Manchester United goalkeeper. And as I say, he's been really, really good since coming in on loan from Manchester United. You know, you look at his stats down here, he's faced an XG of 5.30, and as well as he conceded 4 goals, so he's above his expectations in terms of expected goals against him. He's had some really good performances against Charlton, against Sheffield United as well. He's had some really good games, and I have to say, he looks to be a really good signing so far, and he's definitely one to keep an eye on over the course of the season for Bristol City, and genuinely could be a player that can play in the Premier League by the looks of him in the future. Going over to right back now, we've got to go for Van Ewijk. Of course, I say there's numerous players that have been really good in the right back position so far this season. But he's a player that I thought might end up leaving Coventry City, of course, with Kesler Hayden coming in. Obviously, spent a bit of money on him. He's a player that was also one of the best fullbacks in the Championship last season. But we all know Van Ewijk's quality. He's picked up 3 assists already this season in 4 matches. It'll be rude not to include some Coventry City players, because Coventry City have been unbelievable going forward. And of course, Van Ewijk going forward is one of the best attacking fullbacks, if not the best attacking fullback in the Championship. But as I say, I'm surprised he's still around at Coventry City. With the signing of Kane Kesler Hayden, I really thought he might be on his way. But so far, really impressed this season, putting up good numbers. I mean, he got, 4 assists in the Championship last season. He's already got 3 so far in the opening 4 matches. He'll be hoping that he can definitely beat his tally for last season and the season before as well. He's looking really good this season. And Coventry, as I say, going forward, they just look unbelievable. And as I say, if they can keep that going, they'll be absolutely up there in terms of promotion. So first centre-back, we are going to be going for Alfie Jones. And honestly, in that centre-back position, really, you can name any of those Middlesbrough 3 centre-backs. Have all been really good. Of course, 1 goal conceded so far. It'd be rude not to include a Borough defender in there. And I think Alfie Jones, I'd say just about for me, he has been the pick of the bunch. Let me know in the comment section, Middlesbrough fans, if you do agree with that. But I think this guy has to get in, or at least I think one of the Middlesbrough defenders have to get in so far. He's played every minute so far this season. I mean, he obviously played for Hull last season, and in a struggling Hull side, which defensively weren't actually too bad defensively, but as I say, he was in a side that was towards the bottom of the table. He's now come into Middlesbrough, and he looks to be a really good addition inside in that back 3. And I've been really impressed with him so far, and hopefully he can continue to perform. As I say, he's had numerous years in the Championship now with Hull City, and now making that move to Middlesbrough, probably the right time for him to get a move over there. And he started his Middlesbrough career really well. I think Middlesbrough fans are definitely, well, kind of pleasantly surprised with how well Alfie Jones has actually performed for them. So, the other player at centre-back we are going to go for, if we can find him, yep, it is Nat Phillips of West Brom. And another one that is a new signing that's come into West Brom this season. Of course, was out on loan at Derby County, a player we know very well in the Championship, having played there a few years. And as I say, did really well at Derby last season, and big loss for Derby County, obviously not having him in their side this season. And you have kind of noticed that in game defensively. Of course, Nat Phillips was probably their best centre-back last season for Derby County. And so far, coming into West Brom, he's been unbelievable so far. Got himself a goal, and as well as that, in just defensively, this guy's an absolute man mountain. He'll head absolutely everything clear. I had a couple of question marks over this transfer when he first signed. Not the fact that I don't think Nat Phillips is a good player or anything like that. It's just that he was 28 years old. I mean, it's mad that he's 28, because he was only playing for Liverpool, 5 years ago? Not even, 3 years ago, he was making appearances for Liverpool, which is absolutely wild, Feels like he's younger than 28 with just, as I say, how long he's kind of been around, it feels like. But yeah, it's mental. He's only just left Liverpool as well, in 2025. But as I say, I thought the transfer fee was a little bit was quite expensive for a guy who's 28 years old. As I say, I thought maybe you're not going to get any money back from that. Was my kind of reservation that I had in that deal, but I wasn't doubting how good of a defender Nat Phillips is. And if you look here, 97% of errors was woman. I said before about this guy not losing anything in the end, heading everything out of his box. Anything that teams have thrown at West Brom pretty much, Nat Phillips and West Brom have had answers to. And as I say, he's been unbelievable so far this season, getting himself a goal, of course, as well. And what a sign he looks to be for West Brom so far. And if West Brom are going to be up there come the end of the season, which, as I say, the start of the season, really, really well, currently set second in the league, only 3 goals conceded. A player like Nat Phillips, and also got Metham as well, who's got great experience as well. With the players they've got going forward as well, West Brom could really be a force to be reckoned with this season. And Nat Phillips at the back could be a real leader in that side. And I've been really, really impressed with Nat Phillips so far this season. So going over to left back, we actually are going to be going for another Bristol City player. If I can actually spell his name, is that how you spell? I mean, I can't even find his name. We'll just go over to Bristol City because apparently I can't spell his name. But we are going to be going for McCrory. Oh, it's double C, my bad. So McCrory of Bristol City. I mean, he's not actually a left, but I'll put him in left back in this team. But I mean, he's a left wing back, and he's more of a left midfielder slash left winger. The way that he attacks and the way that he gets forward for Bristol City was pretty good towards the back end of the season as well. At Bristol City last season, 5 goals already this season, 3 assists and the goal as well. 4 goal contributions in his opening 4 games from a wing back position is absolutely nothing there, nothing to be laughed at whatsoever. And this is a guy that in a Bristol City side have been fantastic going forward. And you look at McCrory at left wing, but then you also look at that kind of front 3 as well of Emil Rees, Mehmeti, Scott Twine. They've got real quality in that side. I've spoken a lot about Bristol City, and I really like the kind of system that they've got in place and the players and the personnel that they've got. And as I say, McCrory's been one of their standouts so far this season. As I say, he was very good for them last season as well. And Bristol City have been very good going forward. Defensively, they haven't been bad as well. Of course, I've already included Vitek in there as well. I've been really impressed with McCrory over at wing-back. He's a player that can get up and down. He offers so much. He's got a goal threat as well, as we saw last season, and a goal this season as well. And as well as that, picking up a few assists as well. He's been unbelievable in that Bristol City side. And Bristol City, as I say, I actually am really pleasantly surprised with Bristol City so far this season. I think they've had a really good season so far. They're putting some really good performances. Arguably deserve more points, but they're still unbeaten after the opening 4 matches. So now we'll go into midfield, where we're kind of playing 2 central midfielders and then 1 attacking midfielder. Because I mean, there's been some unbelievable players. There's so many players that are missing out in this video. But in central midfield, we've got to go for Victor Torp. I mean, 4 goals in 4 matches, technically unbelievable player. You can honestly argue a lot of Coventry players in the team this season so far just because of the amount of goals they've scored and how good they've been creating chances. And Victor Torp, I mean, 4 goals in 4 matches, some unbelievable goals in there as well. A really nice one against QPR, and as well as that, another one in the last match for Coventry City as well against Oxford. And from central midfield to be contributing like that with 4 goals, will he be able to continue that? I'm not so sure, but he scored 6 last season. He can really chip in from midfield, got 10 goal contributions last season in 41 games. And as I say, so far the season he started it really well, and he'll be definitely aiming it for, at this point, at least be getting over 10 goals from central midfield the way that he's going right now come the end of the season, if not more. And as I say, for a player that plays so deep in that Coventry midfield, of course, partnering with Matt Grimes, a really good centre-back partnership, one of the best in the division in terms of that, in terms of quality. And you look at all the players they've got in behind as well. There's so much quality in that Coventry City side. I'm looking at it and thinking, maybe I haven't included enough players in the Coventry team of the season, because as I say, going forward, they've been unbelievable. And Victor Torp is a player that's been fantastic for Coventry City so far this season. Going into our other midfielder, or the other central midfielder, we're going to go for Aidan Morris of Middlesbrough. I mean, the running stats of this guy are an absolute joke. You can honestly argue even Hayden Hackney as well, to be honest. I mean, they've both been fantastic in the middle of the park, and Middlesbrough have such a strong centre of the pitch with those two in the midfield. They can really do a job against many teams, and I thought they really underperformed last season in terms of Middlesbrough as a whole. And as I say, the quality in the personnel, when you look at their midfield, is just one of the best in the division again. And Aidan Morris, he runs so much, he wins the ball back, he offers so much in that Middlesbrough side. Definitely an underrated player, maybe a bit of a surprise that I've included him, because, maybe you'd include someone that's got more goal contributions or something like that. But if you watch the game and you look at this guy and see what he offers and brings to that Middlesbrough side, he is a quality player, and 23 years old as well. He's still young at the end of the day. And look at the performances this guy's been putting in week in, week out for Borough, and even last season as well. He was really impressive. I think he had a really good debut season in the Championship, and it looks to be that he could potentially build on that this season in that Rob Edwards side. Really hard-working midfielder, and as I say, very, very good and very good. He offers so much in that side. He can do so much in the side. He can do it all, really. Aidan Morris can. Or do it all but score goals, apparently, because he hasn't actually scored a goal. But in terms of defensively and getting about the pitch, he is really good in that department. Going on to our attacking midfield, I really wanted to include Isaac Price in this. As I say, there's so many forwards that I'll be missing out on this, and they'll probably be in the comments saying, why is he not in the team? But Isaac Price, for me, absolutely has to be in there. He's the star of that West Brom side, and he's a player that's kind of, I wouldn't say struggled in his career, because he's done well in his career, but he struggled to kind of nail down a consistent position in probably where he wants to play, which is the number 10, which now Ryan Mason has given him that licence. As I say, I think he's played in fullback in previous years over at Standard Liège, and then he did well come into West Brom last season, but then he's just taken it up another notch this season. He's been unbelievable for Northern Ireland as well internationally, and it's really good to see that he's taken that kind of international form in terms of goal-scoring form into the Championship, and for me, he's been one of the best players so far this season. You look in the Championship, 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 goal contributions already this season. He started the season on absolute fire, 21 years old, about to turn 22. A player that's got so much potential. I do think he has Premier League potential. I can see him there in future years. Obviously, with him having that versatility as well, is definitely something that clubs will look for. He's played, as I said, I think he's played in a fullback/wing-back area in the past. He can play in central midfield, he can play up top, he can play on the wing. He can literally do it all, Isaac Price can. And a real good addition to that West Brom's had a quality sign in January. And I've been really impressed with what he's done so far this season for West Brom. And you get his defensive contribution, 91% there. He also is such a hard worker for the side as well. As I say, he brings a lot to the table, 21 years old, so much potential. I'm a big fan of Isaac Price. I've been banging the Isaac Price drum since literally the start. It was the start, since before the season even started, to be fair. Right. Going on to our first winger. The front three is kind of a little bit messy, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to go for Sorba Thomas. I think for me, he's probably been the player of the season so far. I've got 5 goal contributions in the Championship so far this season. 2 goals, 3 assists, and he's been absolutely electric on that wing. He's already got more goal contributions than he managed in the whole of last season over in the French league. He's a player that needed to move away from Huddersfield. I think his time has kind of petered out there. Of course, went out on loan last season and also went out on loan to Blackburn as well. Things just haven't really worked out for him in recent years, you have to say, compared to, when you saw that season when Huddersfield got to the playoffs, where he got 12 assists, 3 goals, and was really, really impressive in the Championship, and was a player that at the time we really thought was going to go on to big things, and he's kind of faltered in his career in recent years. But I think this Stoke move's really worked out well for Mark Robinson. It's that whole Stoke team as well, I can't just single out Sorba Thomas, but he has been the star of the show for Stoke. You look at so many good performances. I think Johansson in goal, of course. He didn't have a great game last game, but then you've got Creswell, Wilmot, then you've also got Baker as well in midfield that's done really well this season. I really like Manhoef. There's a lot to like about the Stoke side, but there's no denying that Sorba Thomas has been the star so far. On the counter-attack, absolutely electric, and that Mark Robinson system has really been working well so far this season. 8 goals scored, 3 conceded. Sorba Thomas has been absolutely cooking so far this season, and long may that continue, because it's really good to see him, hopefully now, get back to his best. That'll be really, really good to see. So now we actually are going to be heading back to Coventry City for the other forward. He's played up front for Coventry this season, but we are going to put him in kind of a wide position. We're kind of playing a 4-3-3, but we're just going to have to shove him out wide, because we've got another striker. You probably already know who's going to be included as our striker. But yeah, Hadji Wright so far this season, 3 starts, 4 goals, and really impressive so far this season. And I think he's a player that could really has potential this season to potentially be the Championship top scorer, but we'll discuss the other player in a second. I do think it could be maybe quite close between these two players. But you look at that Coventry side, as I was speaking about before, the creativity they've got in behind to supply players like Hadji Wright. You've got Jack Radonian there, who arguably should have been in this as well. You've got Mason Clark. You've also got in there as well. You've also got Thomas Asante. You've got an unbelievable forward line with also the fullbacks, the flying fullbacks going forward as well. They are going to be providing chances for Hadji Wright. It's whether or not he can take them chances or not. And so far this season, he's definitely done that. 4 goals so far this season has been really, really impressive. And he is definitely a handful. Obviously, I watched him for 90 minutes against my team QPR when unfortunately Coventry beat us 7-1. But he was unbelievable in the air. 97% of aerial duels on that. In that game, he was up against Liam Morrison, our centre-back for QPR. He absolutely bullied him. I don't think I've seen a better striker performance. I see a lot of good striker performances against QPR, because we seem to let every striker score. But I was even more. I think Hadji Wright really stood out to me in terms of opposition forwards that I've watched for 90 minutes and faced so far this season. I think Hadji Wright's been the best. He was winning every battle. He was literally running the centre backs ragged, and as I say, running in behind, aerial. He's a very good physical player, and he's been really impressive so far for Coventry, and 4 goals this season. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves as well, so he's got the goals to back it up as well. And going on to our final player, I mean, it's got to be Josh Sargent, hasn't it? I mean, what is it? 5 goals in 4 matches, Championship top goal scorer so far this season. We know what Josh Sargent is all about. The guy is just, he could take his chances when he gets 6 goals in all competitions, actually. Norwich missed him, of course, last season, with him missing about a third of the season. And he would have undoubtedly been the top scorer last season. I really do think he can be top goal scorer this season. I'm surprised he stayed at Norwich, to be fair. I think he had interest, of course, from Bundesliga sides. It looked like he kind of wanted to stay at Norwich then. And, if anything good's going to come with Norwich this season in terms of them maybe having a playoff push, Josh Sargent is absolutely that guy. And when you've got a player like him who can finish the way that he does, I mean, his goal that he scored in the match, I think last match against Blackburn, wasn't it, right? I mean, it was an unbelievable goal that he managed to put away in the, I think it's right towards the end of the game. Just put one in the top corner. Like, how many players in the Championship are going to be able to finish like that? And it's with Josh Sargent as well, it's the consistency as well. You look at the numbers that he's put up in the Championship, it's been really good numbers, and I think this could be probably his best season in the Championship so far. If he can just stay injury free all season, Norwich have got themselves an unbelievable player, and he's still 25 years old. He's been around for a few years now. He's obviously signed in the Premier League for Norwich, and he's been there. He's been there for numerous years now. It feels he's been around for a while. Still only 25 years old, so as I say, Norwich can still definitely sign for a good fee in the future as well if they aren't in a playoff battle. Which, if they've got a player like Sargent, they can definitely be in the running for the playoffs this season. As I say, for me, best striker in the division. I think him and Hadji Wright are right up there right now, especially Josh Sargent. I think he has to be number 1 for me, as I said, from pretty much the start of the season. He was my Golden Boot winner, and I'm glad that he's repaying my faith so far. Hopefully he can keep it going and get himself that Golden Boot. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let me know who I've missed in the comment section down below. Of course, there'll be loads of players that I've missed. As I say, there's numerous players you can name from Coventry City and other teams as well that have been really impressive. And you can argue a lot of players, from Stoke as well, all deserve shouts. But of course, it's so difficult just to put an 11 together. But as I say, that's my opinion so far. Let me know if you agree in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. If you're a Championship fan and you've watched this point, you may as well hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second. It'll be very greatly appreciated, and you won't regret subscribing to the channel. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.